I'm Jake. Just want to go over my setup today for trapping, how I'm carrying these items in. As you can see right here in the background, I'm using a 5-gallon bucket, but there's many options you have out there. Pack baskets, 5-gallon buckets, tool tote bags. I think there's a lot of different brands out there. Some people like Stu, I do believe, with Coon Creek Outdoors. He uses like a Alders frame pack when he's making long treks. Really, your imagination is the limit to what you're doing here. Really, the main goal here is just to get out there on your line and start checking your traps and hopefully start catching things. But I'm going to dive deep into things I'm going to be trying to use this year. Some things I've bought and, trying to be a tightwad and trying to save some money, which we all try to do. I bought some stuff off of Amazon. I'll show you some issues I had with them. I figured it was going to happen, but we'll dive deep into it, y'all. And I'm also going to talk about some of the stuff I had some luck with last year. Some of the products I have just recently bought, and I'm hoping to give it a good try and hopefully have some good catches this year, y'all. Y'all, let's start off with what I'm using on this 5-gallon bucket. This right here is just a simple bucket toolkit that I bought off of Amazon. I'm an electrician for a living. And one of the common things a lot of people use, especially in commercial work when I first started, is a lot of people just carry around 5-gallon buckets. And you'll see these a lot on job sites. Maybe not this one, maybe Milwaukee, something of that nature. But yeah, so I already had that kind of idea in my head for something that might be portable, easy to carry. So just shopping around, I was looking for something very robust in what I was using, something that wasn't like some of the Milwaukee ones or the Klein ones that went inside the bucket. Lure gets onto that, like, I think it's like a 500 Condora material or something like that. I think that's what it's called. Gets on that material, it's just going to soak in. It's going to just smell forever. So I didn't really want anything that went inside the bucket. I really wanted something that clamped around. A lot of options just had a little plastic buckle that just buckled together. That was all I was holding on, just a tension and maybe the lip of the bucket around here, around this lip. So I just kept searching, and I found this. This is an S-Wing. This is made by S-Wing. I mean, they make great hammers. But yeah, it was like $35, $40, something like that for this. But it has metal clips. This is what the seller was for me. Metal clips that go over the top edge of these buckets. I mean, that right there, that's a lot of extra security. That will keep this whole thing, when you start weighing down with shovels, hammers, everything else, just start stuffing it all to the side here. I mean, it could really hold all of that. Plus, it's also got the buckle like most of them got right here in the back. It's got a buckle that cinches right here. And you can tighten that up once you get where it's at too. But yeah, I really like this. I'm hoping it's going to be good. I think it's going to be pretty strong compared to most out there. Of course, the ones that go inside the bucket, I mean, yeah, they're going to support a lot of weight. You have a full support around with the material. But I really am digging this. It's not very, I guess, intrusive with it. Just kind of clips on. And of course, these metal clips ever break the bucket, it gets cold, brittle, the plastic gets brittle. Hey, just get you another 5-gallon bucket. You can find them about anywhere. But yeah, I really like this setup. Now, let's just kind of start with the tools on the side here. Got a headlamp. I always just keep a headlamp. A lot of times I check my trap line right after work, and of course when time change happens, you better have a flashlight lit with you, because by the time you get off, you ain't gonna see a darn thing. Right here, I got channel locks. For some reason, being an electrician and being in the trades, I always feel like I need a pair of channel locks with me. They come in so handy. Every time you just feel like you need that one tool, it's usually a pair of channel locks. These are Klein brand. Some people might call them tongue and groove pliers, but just the trade name, channel locks. Right here, these are a pair of heavy duty scissors. These are just like cheap Job Smart, I think I got from Tractor Supply. Kind of bought them for maybe cutting some trap pan covers, or wax paper for the covers, just about anything. I always feel like you need a pair of scissors for something. Hey, heavy duty scissors didn't cost me like $4, in the little cheap tool bin they have at Tractor Supply. Hey, why not? Also, I have a pair of Kleins. Like I said, I'm an electrician, and man, they come in handy. But also, a lot of people carry these on trap lines. I mean, you're going to have tie wire, you're going to have number 9 gauge trapping wire for your snares. These things will come in handy greatly. Maybe you got just your trap on the fly. I mean, these right here are the ticket. Also, let's go to the next piece here. I got some Freedom brand conibear setter here. This is the smaller set. I use these things for a lot of stuff. Of course, you know, just setting conibears kind of help holding on to them. But I might not have the strongest hand. Some people just set, you know, a 120 like it ain't nothing, or a 220 like it ain't nothing. But you know, when you get them 220, sometimes it feels like you just can't do it. Hey, just pull these bad boys out, and it costs you hardly nothing. But yeah, I mean, I use the heck out of these things. I even use it for when I'm trapping, dyeing and waxing my traps. Which, I mean, they just come in handy. I just take them, pull it right back out, pull it out of the wax, whatever like that. So let's go on to the next item here. I have a narrow pocket shovel. This is something I just bought at the South National Convention. It was I guess the Southeast National Convention for trapping. It was hosted by the Virginia Trapper Association, of course, the National Trapper Association. It was a pretty cool place. It was a pretty good time, but you know, I got a lot of supplies I've been really needing. Some things, you know, you want to order offline that, you know, the shipping rates are high. That's not towards the sellers or anything. The shipping rates are just high right now, and if I can save any money as possible, hey, let's do it. But also, I had a great time. Got to save a little bit of change, and got some cool stuff. So this is a narrow trapping shovel, as you can see. I bought it this year because, man, it just seems like where I live here in the Appalachian Mountains, in the Allegheny Highlands here in Virginia, man, everything's either limestone, sandstone, with just a little bit of soil on top to piss you off. So this narrow shovel, I feel like it's going to help me out a ton this year. Just really getting down deep in there, in between them rocks, trying to pop them out. If I'm making a trap bid, I just feel like this is going to be very vital for to me. Also, this has the D handle. I thought about getting this just a straight handle, you know, being a tightwad that I am, but I didn't really want to. I mean, most of y'all who are watching this have worked a shovel quite a bit, and you know darn well your hand digging in there, you know, you're using them short shovels. If you don't have that, like a garden shovel that are made like a trenching shovel, man, if you ain't got that, that's key right there. But yeah, let's see. In these pouches, I ain't assigned nothing yet. I kind of don't want to get too crazy because I have a bad habit. I'm about like a raccoon. If I can stash something somewhere, I'm going to do it, and I got plenty of pockets to stash something in. So right here is just a small tape measure. It's actually like a little Stanley 100th year anniversary. I think somebody gave it to me for Christmas, or 175 year anniversary. It's like a ½ inch, you know, wide tape measure. I think that's what it is. Let's see here. Yeah, ½ inch wide. Just kind of thought about keeping that in my pack. I mean, it's small. It's pretty compact. I kind of liked it. Just because, you know, being in the trades and who I am, I just kind of like to maybe pull a tape measure and measure my holes. Might get a little too crazy sometimes, but hey, that's just me. Keep a multi-screwdriver with me. Phillips, flat, stuff like that. That comes in handy. You know, you got a 3/8 on one side, 5/16, quarter. Multi-screwdrivers come in handy for a lot of things. I keep a flat file with me. Oops. Keep a flat file with me, just in case if I have to adjust anything on the go. And it just slips right here in this pocket. I ain't got nothing to worry about. Also, I have just a little Buck USA knife. I just kind of keep on the side because, hey, you can't ever have too many knives. So just keep that right there. I'm going to keep working our way around. We do have a tape measure holder here, which would be nice for my tape measure, but it don't have that, and really it's all right with me not just having a big old bulky 25-foot tape measure hanging off the side of it. Right here are my rubber gloves. When I use for maybe water trapping or just anywhere real wet, you know, sometimes you get them coons that are just covered in straight mud. So I just throw these bad boys on. That way I ain't got to worry about a little prima donna. I got a bunch of rubber, just with it like nitrile gloves there, nitrile gloves. Just keep them stuffed in there. You never know what's going to be touching or handling. Sometimes you get these lures, you just want to take extra precautions. Keep a little Leatherman style multi-tool in here. This comes in handy a lot. I mean, like I say, you can't ever have too many multi-tools. Maybe I got it weighed down a little too much. Y'all let me know down in the comments what you think. I kind of go a little tool crazy. Maybe that's just in my nature, but maybe I have gone a little crazy. So moving over here, we have like another pouch, you know, the zipper pouch. Opens up pretty nice. I keep some random things in there, and I'll show you this. But got a few little pockets too on the outside here. I keep my, let's see if I can get my fingers in there. I keep my wax paper in there. Just rolls and rolls of wax paper. Kind of ripped that one a little bit. Kind of stuffed a little bit too much in there. I got some trash bags in there, because a lot of times for me personally, a lot of people trap, they use their truck and everything else. For me, I'm most of the time in my work car. I got about an hour drive every day, so when I'm checking my trap line, I got an hour ride, and I just start checking it along that route. Well, when I'm in my car, if I do catch something, I'm going to throw it in a little trash bag. I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to make sure he ain't what it is, a mud soaked coon or a fox has been out in the rain all day. I mean, I just want to make sure I don't get no blood, no hair, get it all over my car. So I just wrap them up in little trash bags. Right here in the pouch, as you can see, I have a little boo-boo kit. You know, out there on the trap line gets pretty tough, you know. Got a pen here, trapping journal. I'm going to start jotting down stuff this year in. Last year I didn't do it, but also last year was really my first year really trapping harder. You know, like I've said in some of my other videos, I just started getting into trapping really. I mean, I've been at it now for 3 years. First year was just kind of playing around, messing around. I live right beside National Forest, just kind of walking back there, trying to see what I can catch. I didn't really have no luck, but didn't know what I was doing. Didn't really do a lot of research. But last year, you know, I started watching a lot of YouTube, started reading a lot of books from Hal Sullivan and other people, and just really want to get into it. I mean, I've really enjoyed this. This is a great sport here. The challenge is just amazing. It just makes you want to keep that pursuit going. But I didn't do a trapper journal last year, and I can't quite remember what I used to catch the fox I caught. I was trying some different things, and man, you know, if you just ain't got a good memory, you know, I am young. I don't have the best of memory though, unfortunately, and I just can't remember what I used. And a lot of trappers I talked to down at the convention this year said, keep your trapper's journal. Keep your trapper's journal. Try to log everything you do. What was you doing? What was the weather like that day of the catch? You know, just try and key in on all those factors. The location of your set. What kind of set was it? You know, you can use that as a learning tool. You know, what is producing, what ain't producing. I mean, why not? I mean, what's it hurt just to jot down some information and hopefully learn from it? This is a Write in the Rain book I've had for a while. There's anything I got for a Christmas gift, and I said, heck with it, I'll just throw it here. I mean, it's perfect for it. Got a ballpoint pen, which this is not for that. I just kind of keep a pen in there. I got carpenter pencil. I got some Sharpies. There's some Milwaukee Sharpies carpentry pencil. That's for writing in a book. Just easy to sharpen while you're out there on the trail. Take the knife off and just sharpen a few times, you know. Also keep some Q-tips in there for my lure. Just take them down in there. I got this from F&T Trading Post. I mean, every trapping supply sells them. So also I didn't go over in this pouch here, we got some quick links. I forget the size of that. I think it's like a 1/4 inch size maybe. But anyway, I wanted to try out these quick links this year because last year I was just hard staking everything. You know, like I said, I'm still learning, I'm still progressing every day. And, you know, getting out there on YouTube and just watching some of the stuff or just reading, I mean, you learn a lot of stuff. Going to some of these trapping conventions, going to maybe your local state training, hey, you can learn a lot of stuff, guys. Let's continue around here. I think this is the last pouch, and that is some knee pads. Like I said earlier, here in the mountains, there's rocks everywhere. And, man, sometimes you just, in the mud and the rocks, you know, you never know what you're going to get into. And for me personally, I'm 26, and I don't want to end up like a 60-year-old at the age of 32. So I'm going to wear some knee pads, and I'm going to support them things. I love them. So let's move on into the interior of the bucket. So as y'all can see here, as I got it set up right now, there's not a lot in it, but there will be some more things in it, and I'm going to show you some of the things I will have. First I have is a J-hook anchoring driver. Pogo driver, I guess is the right name for it. But it's just something I made at work, you know, made in my free time on lunch, and wasn't nothing much to it. I used a piece of 1/2-inch galvanized pipe, you know, like I said, I'm an electrician, it's a piece of conduit. Took a piece of black iron, I think that's a 5/8 nut, a piece of 3/8 round stop, just welded it all up, grind it down. It's not the perfect one. It's not like some of the factory ones. A lot of people have made some better ones. But man, for throwing something together in 15-20 minutes, hey, I'm happy with it. And it works. It dries good. I think I made this, let's see here. See, it's why you carry a tape measure with you. You never know. You never know what you're going to be measuring. I think down the handle I did 16 inches. But let's see here. 18 inches. 18 and about 3/4, 18 and 5/8. So yeah, it works like a charm, and I really like it. There's some other anchoring systems you can use, like the Wolfangs or the Berkshires. The super stake. There's so many out there. I want to do a video next. I want to get a scale out and compare all these anchors. I'm going to hook the scale maybe to my tractor or something so I can get a good pulling force, steady pulling force on it. And just anchor all these anchors in the ground in a very similar location and just see what that force is that takes to pull that anchor out of the ground. Just a single trap stake anchor. I feel like some brands might win. The Pogos are great, but like I said, y'all, look at some other options out there. I like them because they're so easy to make. I mean, why not? What I do for a living, hey, we get washers all the time. You can find them laying around on the job sites. Just pick them up, come home, get you some J-hooks offline, and just slap something together real fast. That's really nice. Got my hammer here, which my hammer is a Stanley Hickory, just a 40-ounce ball peen hammer. I need to finish modifying this a little bit. This was just a hammer somebody gave me. I even got a sticker on it still. I don't know how it made through last year. But this is just a hammer somebody gave me. They were tired from work, said, hey, I got this in my box here to take it. Hey, if it's free, I'll take it for sure. I'm going to take a piece of flat bar, and I'm going to notch this ball peen. I'm going to weld that to it. And, you know, kind of having a little hoe on the back, kind of make it a little nice like that. And the last things I got in here, second to last, was a Milwaukee drill. I've had this for a while. Been a good one. I love Milwaukee battery products. But yeah, I'm gonna use this for using a earth anchor. You know, not an earth anchor, but a earth auger, and drill my dirt hole sets. I think it's going to make it a lot faster. Last year I was digging them all about out by hand. But like I said, for the terrain I'm in, sometimes these earth augers ain't the best. These came off of Amazon. It was like a 4-pack, cheapos, supposed to be for your garden. I just wanted to see if they could handle some abuse from around here. Like I said, that's kind of another reason why I got the D handle, the Nara hit it shovel here. That way I can maybe make a dirt hole myself with the shovel. I mean, there's a lot of different options. Take a stake, rebar stake. You know, there's a lot of ways of doing it. But I really want to try this. And this is the problem I was telling you about earlier. And we'll talk more about that here in a minute. But, yeah, just carry a drill with me. Just try and be as fast and efficient as possible. Alright, so for the very last item that I'm going to be carrying a lot in my setup here is just a trenching shovel. This was yet again, see, trapping got some great opportunities. You can use some Christmas gifts that you never really want to use and give it a purpose. I got this shovel in a little Christmas gift. I think it was like a Cameless brand. Came with a knife and some other stuff. But I was like, hey, that might actually be pretty handy. So it folds up nice and compact. You see, I just had it folded up, shoved down in there. There ain't another big old handle sticking out, flopping around. Like I say, this ain't really a military grade. Yeah, it's got like a little saw on it, but it's not very much. And I think this side's actually supposed to be sharpened. The GI models, but it's not. It's just painted, you know, coyote tan. But it's really nice. I really do like it. And then last year it did come in handy, especially when stuff started freezing, because you can just take this thing, and once you get it locked in there, I mean, you got you go the right notch here. How about that? Once you get that thing locked in there, I mean, you got a nice hoe, and you can just sit there and just chisel and chisel. And last year, used it a bunch, doing some remakes and moving location a lot. Last year, you know, like I said, that was really my first year really heavily trapping. And for me, heavily trapping is I had about 15 traps out. And I moved around a lot, tried different areas. I kind of just was so curious and just kept moving spots. But some of the things I've learned, maybe that wasn't the best thing. But anyway, I did. But just when that ground got hard, I just whipped that bad boy out and start whacking and waylailing. And next thing you know, I got me a trap in. But yeah, I love that. I mean, it just folds right down, nice and neat. I mean, what else is not to love about it? Which I ain't got this unscrewed all the way. And there you go. It just folds up real nice and neat. I thought about sticking it right here, but it just don't quite fit. I mean, as you can see, this pocket here is a smaller trenching shovel. It just ain't gonna fit in there. But yeah, that's most of the stuff in my pack. We'll move on to the next stuff. I'm just gonna kind of throw this stuff in there. So let's talk about these augers here. This auger I bought off Amazon. It was like a 4-pack set, like I said earlier. Came with multiples. Here's another one of them. When I got them in, I wasn't shocked. There's a reason why they're cheap. They are some kind of maybe mild steel or something like that. I know the abuse I was giving it, I was just going straight into some rocky soil. I mean, there's rocks sticking out here, there, and everywhere. Just drilling in, trying to see if I can get the bind up, to see if I can break this thing. Because I don't want to be on a trap line and have this thing break on me, and maybe I didn't bring the shovel because I didn't feel like I needed it. I don't want to be stuck in a predicament that it's just going to make a bad day. Trapping, we're all trying to have fun. We ain't out here trying to make a bunch of hard work for ourselves and have to walk maybe 100 yards or maybe in some case half a mile or a mile back to the vehicle you're trapping out of to get another piece of material you need. Maybe a shovel or whatever like that. But as you can see here, I'm going to show you here in a close-up. It was just kind of more or less spot welded. So right here is where one of the spot welds was. And right here, and one in the middle here. So those spot welds just didn't hold up. I mean, that's just plain simple. So here I am drilling, finally binds up, welds break, and here we are now. So I want to try and take this to work. And when I take this to work, I'm going to see if I can just grind it down, get the paint off, and just lay a nice bead all the way down these flights on this auger here, and see how it performs then. Still a little hesitant about it, but we'll see. Maybe this is too big of a size. I believe this will make it about an inch hole. Oh no, I was wrong. This is a 2-incher. This will make you a 2-inch hole. This one here will make you about a 1-inch, inch and a quarter about hole. I'm still kind of curious which one I might like better. When I was playing around drilling with this, I was really liking the size of that dirt hole. I mean, it was making a nice, just good presentation. I kind of really enjoyed that, and I think I'm going to just really move forward trying to fix that, because I'd be darned if I'm going to go out there on trap line with this one. This one I haven't even used. It's still virgin. Still got the 3 spot welds, and I'll show you how those spot welds look. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, that's all it's holding together. Maybe like what it's advertised for in a garden, yeah, it might be just fine. But for what we're using it for, it ain't fine. And there's a lot of companies out there that make them. I think Hoosier Trap Supply, they sell some. I think at FT Trading Post, they sell some. You can go on there, you can order some of them. Like I said, I was just going down the cheap route and just seeing what I can get out of it, but trust me, spend your money and just go ahead and get you one of them. Unless you got a welder and stuff like that, hey, I'm all about trying to make stuff by hand. You know, I'm really big about that. It kind of makes you feel resourceful. So for me, it was just a little test and experiment, and hopefully I can just lay a nice weld all the way down these flights, and it'll just continue working for years and years. A lot of those ones on F&T and Hoosier are just heavy duty. The flights are really well welded. You're not going to have nothing to worry about. These cheap old Amazon ones, yeah, you might have a little bit to worry about. So, with that said, let's move on to some of my supplies I used last year. Like I said, we're going to move on to some of the supplies I use, and some I've recently just purchased. Purchased quite a bit down there at the trap convention I was just telling you about. Some of them I also purchased off of Southeastern Outdoors. It's a place down in Martinsville, Virginia. I ordered them offline, and one of them I had some great luck with last year. Ended up catching a fox. Actually caught 2 off of the. I think I caught that 1 fox off. I can't remember. I swear that's why that Trapper Journal comes in handy. So let's just begin. This is not all my stuff. I still have some stuff inside, but I'm just going to show you a little brief thing about some of the stuff I did purchase. And one thing I do remember catching 1 fox on. It was actually a nice red fox. I ended up giving it to a taxidermist friend of mine. I wish I took a picture of it. I just recently started pursuing this whole video and YouTube and thing, so never really thought about it. But I kind of regret it now. But right here was a lure I used to catch a nice red fox. This is Blue Ridge Products. This is called just Fox Bait. Has directions on it. And as you can see, that is some good looking stuff. It kind of smells like it has maybe some gland in it, some other stuff, and it's got some juices in it, that's for sure. It's got some goodness in it. I used this in combination with some gray fox urine. As you see, it don't look like a whole lot used, because, hey, I just kind of took some and just sprinkled a few little drops around the scent, and, hey, I had luck with it, I ain't gonna lie. This year I did purchase from Hoosier Trap Supply some little spray bottles, and hopefully just put that whole thing in here and not have to worry about it. Because last year I was just dripping, like I said, just getting into it and really enjoying it, but I've learned a lot along the way. So I had some great looks out of this. This is Gray Fox urine. This is also Blue Ridge products. Like I said, Southeastern Outdoors carries these. Some other products down there at the convention. Some of the seminars they gave were just awesome. And I learned a lot from them. One of the things I learned a lot from was an older gentleman. I can't remember his name right offhand, but he's been trapping for years in Virginia. And man, he is the Bobcat man. I'm sinning for not remembering his name right offhand, but he just was preaching it, how all the methods he used and all the luck he had. So he said castrum from a beaver is just a great curiosity smell and something that really intrigues bobcats. Well, after listening to his presentation stuff, I went in there and bought some of this from Mr. I think it's pronounced Hobbins or Hobins booth, and he sold castrum. He sold a lot of stuff of his own product, and he also gave a great seminar about catching coyotes. And man, I wish I'd have videotaped all that stuff now, but I mean, them guys just had the knowledge. So I went and bought some of this castrum from him, and I also bought some bobcat urine. So that fella at the convention preached highly that one thing, and probably the only thing you need to catch a bobcat, is bobcat urine. I've never caught a bobcat, and I hope to catch one this year. And like I said, Mr. John, right here's the name. I don't know if y'all can see that, John Hoban. Sold all kinds of different stuff. Well, I ended up purchasing this from him too. And one thing that fella said, that was giving a seminar, said, if a thing of bobcat urine, which some companies do kind of have a more, maybe it looks like more like a watered down urine they sell. He said, you want urine that is dark and looks rich. He said, that is pure urine. It has not been watered down. And he said, some of those have been watered down. You can take that gallon jug or whatever you bought, open the lid up, just crack it to where it can evaporate, and you will get you a nice concentrate. As you can see, this was just a straight concentrate. I mean, you can look how dark that is. Even got some funkiness floating around in it. And I will say, and they did say, that bobcat urine is some of the most pungent stuff you ever smelt. And I'm going to tell you what, I cracked this bad boy and about rolled over. So he was speaking the truth on that. So right here, like I said, this is John, I'm sorry, I hope I'm pronouncing this right, John Hoban. He's from Ripley, West Virginia. And I'm hoping to have some good luck out of his products this year. And, I mean, man, he was just a really nice guy, real genuine. And right here it even says, genuine, strong, and very catty. I mean, this is some good stuff. Also, I got some Hoosier Trapper products. So I have a couple things I've recently just bought, some things I used last year. I never had luck catching a coyote last year, unfortunately. Hopefully this year I do. I feel like this is what I used to catch that other red fox I caught. I can't remember, and I wish I could. But this is Top Dog Predator bait. Man, good stuff. I mean, you can see the consistency of it. I mean, that's from last year to sitting out. It's going to be a little bit more stinky this year. And that's what I want, and I hope that's a good thing. Like I say, just still learning. But this is from Hoosier Trap Supply. They're Leatherwood, Creek, and Trap Scents. Top Dog. Something I just recently purchased and have not yet tried. This is the Finicky Feline. And you watch some guys on YouTube, Hoosier Trap Supplies, they use this a lot. And man, him and Jet, they just catch the heck out of that stuff with using Finicky Feline. And it's got a unique smell. It's kind of, you smell it, you don't know what to think about it. You kind of go, man, that kind of smells good, but whoa, there's a little pungent behind it. But I think it's going to be a good product, and I hope to have a lot of luck out of it. I know they sure do, but man, they are some trappers, and I just strive to be like them. So this is the Jet Fuel, and man, does it have a wicked color to it. This is by, of course, Justin Jet, one of the fellows on Hoosier Trapper Outdoors. Let me show you all this coloring. And to tell you, this stuff got a little tang to it too. But man, look at the color of that. When he shows you them videos on there on the YouTube, and they're pouring that stuff, man, it is blue. I mean, I'm trying not to spill it, and I hope y'all can see that. But it is a nice, beautiful blue. And it's got a nice, not beautiful smell to it. But, you know, as the more I keep trapping, the more I kind of like them smells for some reason. Right here, I got some Hoosier Trap Supply. This is coyote urine. This is left over from last year. Like I said, I didn't have a spray ball really, and I did buy some bigger spray balls, a couple other little small. I think these are like 4 ounce spray balls, 8 ounce. I can't remember what they were. I think they're 4 ounces. And I'm just going to use them and just refill them with the coyote urine. I'm going to plan on trapping harder this year. I bought a lot more traps down at the convention. But yeah, that's just the just plain old coyote urine. I have some other stuff I'm going to show you. This is a little little zipper pouch, and this will also go into my trap bucket here, my little setup. And I'm just going to take what I'm using, zip it up, throw it in there. I ain't got to worry about stuff rattling around. So I'll go through and show you some of the other stuff I was using. This is Coon urine. I just got a little label written in Sharpie. You see, I write about like a doctor. I probably missed my call in life. That's just some Coon urine. This was F&T Trading Post brand, I do believe. Actually, I know it is. Here's some fish oil I was using. You can see that thing got pretty nasty floating around in my old bag I had. You know, just leaves and all the stuff was getting into it, and that thing rolling around after you're using that oil, just everything sticks to it. So I'm gonna clean that bad boy up later. The other thing I have, which I feel like I use this in combination with the Top Dog. Like I say, I can't remember. This is Mark June's Fox Frenzy. This is a little secondary bottle I'll keep it in because that stuff ended up leaking on me with that little dauber I had in my bag. So I just kind of ended up putting it in this little secondary container. This is Mark June's Fox Frenzy. And I will say something about a fox. When it comes to getting into the glands and all this stuff, man, it does got a pungent smell. So let's go to another one. The label kind of got ate up on this last year. And this is Hall Baker's Fox and Coyote. I believe it's #1. Let's look here. Like I say, pulling out this little container here is pretty tight. It's like a perfect fit. #4, excuse me. Fox and Coyote #4, just a 1 ounce container. Like I said, I can't remember where I caught that one fox on. Might have used that, might have used a Fox Frenzy. But I'm gonna stick that bad boy back in there. I need to clean that bottle off. But that was one thing I had. Another thing here, and man, I had this in 2 containers and in a rubber glove, because I'm gonna tell you what, nothing will upset people more is when you get an order in from F&T or wherever, and you open that, just crack the lid on it, and it just soaks the whole house. This is called War Paint, and it's got skunk essence in it and everything else, some other goodies. And I mean, I got this thing just packed and packed up because I don't want the smell being out there everywhere. But I believe this is from Dunlop. Yeah, Dunlop Lures. War Paint Long Call. I tried a few times last year. Like I said, I'm still learning. Might not have been doing everything right I was supposed to do. I hope some of the things I learned from the conventions and some of the more research I've been doing, I can capitalize more. I think I was overusing this and just kind of more or less maybe scaring things away. But just a great skunk essence smell to it. And you know, I think it was on Hoosier Trapper Supply. I can't remember which one said it, but they said something about when you get into trapping or you're making lures, you start loving the smell of the skunk essence. And man, I tell you what, I've always been like that. You drive down the road, you pass a dead skunk, you're like, man, don't they got a good tang to it? So got that. It works pretty good. I'm gonna say for some folks, for me, like last year, I think I was overusing it. Hopefully this year I'll be a little more wiser with what I'm doing. the last thing I have right here on hand is some Dunlop Coon gland. And last year, I had a lot of good luck using the Coon gland and just some urine. I think it was around January last year. Started putting a bunch of DPs out. I had 3 and just started putting some DPs out and trying those out for the first time and see what I could catch. And I found a good trail. Tell there was a ton of coon sign. I mean, it was in a autumnal thicket and nice clear trail, droppings everywhere. Everything was tore up. I mean, there was just coon central. So I just went and stabbed me a DP in. Stabbed the DP in the ground, and then right to the bottom right of it, I just took a rebar stake, made a little hole, dropped a little bit of that coon gland straight into that hole. Now learn a little bit more what I've learned. I should have maybe put it on a cotton swab, some kind of material to keep it off the ground. But I did have luck. I did catch the coon within the next 2 nights. Just used that coon gland and some coon urine. Took the coon urine, just kind of spread it on the ground. And I was kind of, my idea behind it was just make that kind of another smell, like there's another coon in the territory. I was thinking, it's that time of year. These coons might be kind of more of these boar coons going more of the offensive, so maybe there's another coon in this area. And then I just took some straight cracked corn, you get at the feed store, and just shoved it down in the DP. And now knowing what I've learned, I kind of know it was kind of a mixed up kind of set, maybe for what I'm doing with the DP. But it ended up working for me, and so I can't really complain about it. Maybe it was just luck, but that was my first coon I ever caught, and hey, it was fun catching him, I'll tell you that. It was a joy. He was a nice big boar coon. I ended up getting him tanned by a good friend of mine and a local taxidermist, and that was a pretty awesome experience. I also caught, I think it was 6 or 8 coons total I caught last year, and like I said, not trapping too hard. For me, trapping hard is a little different probably than most of y'all big trappers out there. But that little setup I had success, but also the rest of the DPs, I just kind of made a little mixture. I used some peppermint hard candies, some cracked corn, and I took some of that fish oil and just kind of mixed it all together in this little funky batch. Got the hard candy kind of melted into it, heated it all up. And just filled my DPs with that, and man, I had some good luck out of it. I was just kind of experimenting, see what I can just throw together and catch some coons. And that's what I used for the majority of the season after that. And hey, caught some stuff off of it. But that is most of the trapping lures and glands I got out here with me readily available. Something else I want to show you I bought. This is a flushing board here. I bought this down at the convention. This was, of course, it's been signed by the man who owns and makes these from Top Lock Stretcher. I had to get his autograph, man. I thought it was pretty cool meeting some of them guys down there. Leon, can't remember his name right offhand. It's written right there, but can't quite read the signature. But Leon, he was a great guy to meet, man. He gave a great presentation on just prepping your hides, processing them, getting them on the stretching boards. Like I said, me just getting into it, I don't have a lot of supplies. Last year, playing around flushing, it didn't really have quite a good flushing knife. Still really don't. Maybe, let's see what Santa Claus brings this year for Christmas. But last year I just used an old log and an old draw knife I had laying around, and it worked. Like I said, I kind of knocked a few holes in them, but oh well. Beginners got to learn somewhere, right? But yeah, I bought this board from him. It wasn't too bad. I think it was like 50, 54 bucks, something like that. And thought it was just neat, just buying that from him, getting him to sign it. And I'm going to make a little stand for it, and hopefully I can get a video of it, just making a nice little stand, 45 degrees, maybe not quite 45 degrees, maybe like a 70 degrees, something like that, but an angle. So some other things I had, this is the draw knife I was just talking about I used last year. This is an old I don't know, maybe a 14-inch, 12-inch draw knife. You know, it's got a curve to it. It's sharp. I've got good and sharp. It'll shave you. It's been laying around for years. You know, father-in-law gave me this, and I mean, it worked. Like I said, I'm not the best, and I really don't know what I'm doing. Learn along the way, but hopefully we'll get something a little bit better maybe this year for Christmas. Like I said, may old Sandy bring me something. This is just an old cheap, dull fleshing knife I got. I think I bought it at Sportsman's Warehouse. Like I said, I just kind of bought something. I got something sharp and something dull. I think I paid maybe like $10, $13 for this bad boy, but we'll see if it works or not. Maybe see what comes in the old Christmas present this year. So here's some gloves I use. These are just some, you know, old work gloves here. The old stretchy Maxi Flex. I use these for my lures. Just something nice and thin. Just throw them on real fast. If I don't use these, I got the rubber gloves. I try to keep a bunch of gloves with me, because if I don't, I'll probably forget to get a pair or something, or man, get some just completely soaked in something. But right here is a pair of insulated. These are Ninja Ice gloves from MCR. They're nice and insulated, and when it got cold outside, I use that to put my lure on, and they work good. They keep your hands pretty darn warm. Right here, I have just a pair of welding gloves. I got these because last year, some of the coons I got, you know, letting them loose, and some of the ones I got trapped was just real small, and caught them beside a creek, and I wanted to let them loose, so I had a pair of welding gloves. I just kind of threw those in my setup, and when I'm sitting there wrestling around with them, I can not have to worry about hopefully getting bit if I get too close, and they're nice and thick leather, and they're pretty good to work with. I mean, everybody, if you ever weld it, you know these ain't got quite the best dexterity, but for what you're doing, what I use them for, they work great. Let me show you something else I made. Let me grab it over here real fast. So this is something I just recently made. My uncle, Buddy Combs, is a big coon hunter, and he's been coon hunting for years with dogs. And I was telling him how I rigged up a little catch pole, like I said, for them coons I let loose last year, and he was kind of told me a little idea I thought was great to making me a catch pole. So I got me some. This is 1/8" galvanized aircraft cable, 1-inch piece of conduit, PVC, PVC coupling. This is a female to a male threaded, I guess you could say, maybe an adapter. I took like I said, I'm an electrician. I took a knockout plug and a reducer, put it down in there, drilled a hole in it so it was a nice guide to keep it nice and smooth. Kind of filed it, keep all the edges down. And then ran that through there, put a cable stop on this side, made me a loop, and on this end, this is where I got this great idea from my Uncle Buddy. He did something a little bit different. Like I said, I just kind of threw this together, and it seems to hold pretty well. I've kind of just hooked it on things, jerking. But this is a clothesline tensioner. And man, I mean, it tenses, it pulls it up, and it locks it in. I mean, it ain't going nowhere. Sitting there just hooking on the things around the house, just jerking to see if it would just give. It never really did, and you just pull it up like so, and it just releases the tension. And I put a ferrule right here on the cables I bought off of Amazon. Took a hammer, mashed the heck out of it, and then put it in the vise, finished it up. It ain't the prettiest. Put some tape on it, way won't get all snagged up on it, hopefully. Maybe a little handle, and I can just take that bad boy, just cinch it right on down to what I want. And I mean, it works. I mean, it is tight, and cost wise, for me personally, I probably only got $5 in this with some scrap laying around. 1/8" cable somebody gave me. Me, I guess being lucky, I don't have a lot into it. I would say personally, if you had to buy all this stuff, a stick of conduit and price of materials are just high as hell anymore. I'd say you probably get away making this for $15, something like that, after you buy the clothesline tensioner and everything else, maybe $15-20. Of course, the clothesline tensioner, some are 2 packs, whatever, but by the time you get everything said and done, the cost of one ferrule, the cost of one cable stop down here on the inside, hey, you ain't gonna have a whole lot into it. And is it maybe as nice as those $100, $130 catch-all poles? Maybe not, but hey, for an old holler redneck as myself, I think it's pretty nice. So guys, I think that's about it I'm going to show you today. There's still a few other items you don't see here. I got a sifter. I'm making the piece of expanded metal I had, and I'm just going to take some wood and make one myself. Like I said, I'm tightwad. I didn't buy me no heavy duty sifter. Should have did that while I was down at the trapping convention, but like I say, I'm tight. But yeah, guys, I appreciate y'all watching the video and y'all being here today with me. Hope y'all come back and watch some more. I'm gonna keep doing this as I go along, doing this old vlogging thing. Like I say, I just got into this. I've really enjoyed it. I'm really starting to build a passion for this, especially talking to so many people and learning so much. And I'm just going to keep going along, and some things I've learned and some successes I've had, I hope y'all can learn from all that stuff. I'm going to start bringing y'all out with me on the trap line and showing you maybe how I do a set or some ways I was shown. And just see if, maybe there's other people like me out there, or maybe you're an old timer, or something I've learned from some other folks you might take up and use that knowledge for yourself. So hopefully we can just keep on doing these videos and try and see what all we can learn from them. But yeah, y'all come on back, and hope to see y'all again. This is Jake with Jake Outdoors. Y'all have a good one.